Hey, the Stoic Inspire friends, welcome back to the Stoic Inspire channel. In today's video, we're going to explore a topic that might hit home for some of you. 9 things that just don't make sense after the age of 61. As we get older, we often start to see the world through a new lens. The things we once thought were important or that we worried about in our youth often no longer hold the same weight. So whether you're approaching your 60s, already living them, or just curious, stick around. This might offer you a whole new perspective on life. Let's dive into it. Number 1. The pressure to conform. When you're younger is one of the most universal yet deeply personal experiences we all face at various stages of our lives. From the moment we begin interacting with the world outside our homes, the need to fit in and be accepted by others becomes an inherent part of our social development. For many, this pressure starts in childhood, where the desire to belong to a group or follow the popular trends becomes a driving force in shaping our identity. It's easy to think that the urge to conform is a natural and harmless phase in growing up, but the reality is much more complicated. As children, we're impressionable. Our sense of self is not yet fully developed, and because of this, we often look to others to define who we are. This can be particularly strong in environments like school, where peer influence and societal expectations play a major role in determining our behavior, interests, and choices. When we're young, the fear of being different can feel insurmountable. Whether it's wearing the right clothes, listening to the latest music, or having the same hobbies as everyone else, the pressure to conform creates a cycle of constant self-comparison. We start to measure our worth by how closely we align with the group around us. If we don't, we risk being left out, ridiculed, or even ignored. This feeling can extend to all aspects of life: our appearance, our values, our interests, and even the way we speak or carry ourselves. The need for approval becomes so ingrained that we might abandon parts of ourselves, even those that we enjoy or value, just to fit in. At its worst, this can lead to a loss of individuality, where we no longer know who we are outside of the expectations placed upon us. The teenage years intensify this pressure to conform. Adolescence is a time of intense self-discovery, but also a period where social acceptance is paramount. Friendships and relationships often hinge on common ground, and those who deviate from the norm may find themselves isolated. Social media has only amplified this pressure, where likes, shares, and comments can dictate what's considered acceptable or cool. Young people are bombarded with the images of idealized lives, bodies, and lifestyles, all of which seem to follow a rigid set of rules. The illusion of a perfect life, fueled by curated online personas, becomes a blueprint for what we think we should aspire to. This creates a toxic cycle where individuality is undervalued in favor of fitting into predefined molds. We might even start to suppress parts of ourselves, like our creativity or our passions, because they don't align with what is currently trending or what's deemed popular. But the reality is, no one is immune to the emotional toll that conformity takes. The longer we suppress our true selves to fit in, the more disconnected we become from our own desires, beliefs, and values. We might start feeling like we're living someone else's life instead of our own. The fear of rejection, judgment, or not measuring up can make us feel like we're constantly performing, rather than living authentically. And as we grow older, the emotional baggage of trying to conform may persist, impacting our mental health, self-esteem, and ability to form genuine, meaningful relationships. The pressure to conform can also impact our decisions about career paths, relationships, and personal goals. Many people, especially young adults, may choose to pursue careers or lifestyles that align with external expectations, only to later feel unsatisfied or unfulfilled. The fear of disappointment or rejection from others might push us into choices that don't resonate with our true passions or ambitions. This cycle of conformity can continue into adulthood, creating a life that's shaped more by external validation than by inner fulfillment. This is particularly true when individuals prioritize the opinions of others over their own, whether it's their family, friends, or even societal norms. The result is a lack of authenticity, where we feel like we're constantly trying to please others at the cost of our own happiness and sense of self-worth. However, breaking free from this pressure to conform is possible, though it's not always easy. The journey towards self-acceptance and authenticity often involves challenging the beliefs that we've internalized over the years. It requires us to take a hard look at why we feel the need to conform in the first place. What are the underlying fears, beliefs, and insecurities that fuel our desire for acceptance? Understanding that we are worthy of love and respect, regardless of how closely we follow social norms, is an essential step in reclaiming our individuality. One powerful way to start shedding the pressure to conform is by practicing self-compassion and learning to embrace our uniqueness. It means giving ourselves permission to make mistakes, explore new interests, and redefine what success and happiness mean to us. This process of rediscovery involves surrounding ourselves with people who encourage and accept us for who we truly are, rather than those who expect us to fit into a mold. Building a network of like-minded individuals who share our values and passions can help ease the fear of standing out and encourage us to explore our true potential. It also means consciously stepping away from social media or other environments that fuel comparison and focusing instead on building a sense of self-worth from within. Breaking free from the need to conform is a gradual process that requires courage, patience, and self-awareness. It often involves unlearning harmful societal messages and replacing them with positive affirmations and beliefs that celebrate our individuality. As we grow more confident in who we are and embrace our authentic selves, we naturally begin to attract relationships, opportunities, and experiences that align with our true values. This shift may not happen overnight, but over time, it can lead to a life that feels more fulfilling, meaningful, and aligned with our personal desires. Ultimately, the pressure to conform is not something we can easily escape, but it is something we can learn to navigate. By understanding its root causes, challenging the expectations placed on us, and embracing our uniqueness, we can transform this pressure into a source of strength and empowerment. Instead of living to meet the standards set by others, we can choose to create a life that is authentically ours, one that honors our individuality and our capacity to thrive on our own terms. The more we embrace who we are, the less we feel the need to conform to the pressures around us, and the more empowered we become to shape our own destinies. Number 2. The need for approval. When we're young is one of the most deeply ingrained and universally shared experiences in human development. From an early age, children start to seek validation from the people around them, whether it's their parents, teachers, or peers, because these affirmations shape how they see themselves and their place in the world. The craving for approval is not just a fleeting desire. It's a powerful force that influences many of the decisions children and teenagers make. At its core, this need for approval is tied to our basic need for belonging and love. As young individuals, we are in the process of constructing our identity, and approval acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us how we are perceived by others. Whether it's getting good grades, participating in school activities, or dressing a certain way, the constant desire to be recognized or validated can significantly impact how we view ourselves and how we interact with the world around us. In fact, for many young people, approval from others becomes synonymous with self-worth. If they're praised for certain behaviors or accomplishments, they internalize that praise as confirmation of their value. Conversely, lack of approval, whether it comes in the form of criticism, exclusion, or neglect, can have a profound and sometimes lasting effect on their self-esteem. This constant need for validation can lead to a cycle of seeking approval from others to feel good about oneself. And it can become even more pronounced as children grow older, especially in the teenage years. During adolescence, the need for approval intensifies as teenagers strive to figure out who they are while also navigating social pressures. This is the period when peer influence peaks and the desire to fit in with a group or conform to social norms becomes paramount. Peer approval becomes a measure of acceptance, and often it's prioritized above anything else. The opinions of friends, classmates, or even strangers can weigh heavily on the decisions teenagers make, including what they wear, what they say, and who they associate with. This need to gain social approval can lead to conformity in ways that don't always align with a teenager's true personality or desires. They may compromise on their interests, beliefs, or values just to fit in or to avoid standing out. Social media has added a whole new layer to this dynamic, with platforms that constantly reinforce the importance of likes, shares, and followers as indicators of social worth. For many young people, the number of likes on a photo, the comments on a post, or the number of friends they have online becomes a tangible measure of their acceptance in the digital world. This creates an environment where seeking approval from others becomes an ongoing, sometimes overwhelming task that can lead to feelings of inadequacy or anxiety when approval is lacking. As children and teenagers grow older, the need for approval often extends beyond their immediate social circles and starts to encompass broader societal expectations. The pressure to conform to cultural standards of success, such as achieving academic excellence, excelling in sports, or pursuing prestigious careers, becomes a defining feature of adolescence and early adulthood. Many young people find themselves driven by a relentless desire to please others, whether it's meeting the high expectations set by their families, teachers, or even society at large. This can lead to the pursuit of goals that may not necessarily align with their own passions, desires, or sense of self, but are instead motivated by the fear of disappointing others or not living up to their expectations. Over time, this dependency on external approval can stifle personal growth and creativity. The constant measuring of success through others' eyes creates a distorted sense of self-worth, one that is fragile and contingent upon external validation rather than internal satisfaction or achievement. The danger of this need for approval is that it can erode a young person's ability to think independently and make choices based on their own values. As they become more focused on meeting the expectations of others, they may lose touch with their true selves. This disconnection from their authentic desires can lead to a sense of emptiness as they realize they've been living for others instead of for themselves. The pressure to seek approval can also result in anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem, as the fear of rejection becomes a constant source of stress. They may feel like they're never quite good enough, constantly chasing after the next approval or recognition, only to find that it never quite fills the void. However, as we grow older and gain more life experience, we start to understand the importance of self-acceptance. The realization that approval from others is not the ultimate measure of our worth can be a transformative experience. Breaking free from the cycle of seeking external validation begins with recognizing our intrinsic value, independent of others' opinions. This is often a gradual process, one that involves cultivating self-compassion and confidence in our own abilities and choices. Learning to trust our instincts and make decisions that align with our values, rather than simply seeking the approval of others, helps build a stronger sense of identity and emotional resilience. It's important to remember that the approval we seek from others is often fleeting and can be based on superficial or changing standards. True fulfillment comes from knowing and accepting ourselves, not from the praise of others. Building a foundation of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation allows us to make choices that feel right for us, rather than those that are designed to gain others' approval. In conclusion, the need for approval when we're young is a natural part of our development, but it's also something that can hold us back if we let it define our sense of self. The pressure to conform to societal, familial, or peer expectations can lead us down paths that aren't true to who we are, and it can rob us of the confidence to make decisions based on our own desires and values. The key to overcoming this is learning to validate ourselves, recognizing that we are worthy, capable, and valuable regardless of others' opinions. By embracing our true selves, we can live a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and empowering, free from the constant need for external approval. Number 3. The pursuit of perfection. They say life begins at 60, but what does that really mean? For many, this is a time of reflection, a moment to look back at the journey you've traveled and to realize that the road ahead is still wide open, full of possibilities. The pursuit of perfection after 60 isn't about chasing unrealistic ideals or comparing yourself to others. It's about embracing your authentic self and striving to become the best version of you. At this stage, perfection takes on a new meaning. It's about growth, resilience, and purpose. After 60, you have the wisdom of experience, the courage to take risks, and the freedom to pursue what truly matters to you. Whether it's rediscovering an old passion, taking on a new challenge, improving your physical health, or cultivating deeper relationships, every day is an opportunity to shape the life you want. This chapter of your life is not about slowing down. It's about living more intentionally and fully. It's about finding joy in the process, celebrating small victories, and knowing that perfection isn't about being flawless. It's about being fully present, engaged, and committed to the journey. In this video, we'll explore how to harness the power of mindset, the importance of staying curious, and the beauty of setting goals that inspire you. We'll dive into practical steps for enhancing your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being while debunking the myth that it's too late to make a change. Life after 60 is a gift, and the pursuit of perfection is a way to honor it. Remember, perfection isn't a destination, it's a mindset, a way of approaching life with purpose, passion, and positivity. The time to start is now, because your best years are still ahead. Let's explore this exciting journey together. No. Stressing over small things. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed by something so small that, in hindsight, didn't even matter? Maybe it was a comment someone made, a mistake at work, or a minor inconvenience that derailed your entire day. Stressing over small things is something we all do, but it can rob us of joy, peace, and perspective if we let it. The truth is, life is full of tiny imperfections, and how we react to them shapes not only our mental well-being, but also our overall happiness. In this video, we're going to explore why we tend to overreact to small challenges, how our minds magnify problems, and the steps we can take to shift our perspective. When you're in the thick of it, those small things can feel massive, but it's important to ask yourself, will this matter in a week, a month, or even a year? Learning to pause, breathe, and evaluate what's truly important can make all the difference. We'll discuss practical strategies like mindfulness, gratitude, and reframing your thoughts, to help you stop sweating the small stuff and start focusing on the bigger picture. By letting go of minor frustrations, you free up mental space for what truly matters, your goals, relationships, and personal growth. So if you've been carrying the weight of trivial stress, it's time to let it go and reclaim your peace. Life is too short to stress over small things. Let's dive into how you can break this habit and embrace a more relaxed, joyful approach to life. No. 5. Hiding emotions. As we age, many of us feel the pressure to appear strong, composed, and in control, especially after 60. Society often expects us to have all the answers, to be the rock for others, and to hold it together no matter what. But hiding emotions can take a toll, not just on our mental health, but on our relationships and overall well-being. Whether it's masking sadness, suppressing anger, or pretending everything is fine when it's not, bottling up emotions creates an invisible burden that grows heavier over time. In this video, we're going to explore why so many people over 60 feel the need to hide their emotions, the impact it has on their health, and how embracing vulnerability can lead to freedom and healing. Hiding emotions doesn't make them disappear, it just buries them deeper, where they can manifest as stress, anxiety, or even physical health problems. The truth is, allowing yourself to feel and express your emotions is not a sign of weakness, but of courage. It's an act of self-respect to acknowledge what you're going through and let others in. We'll discuss the importance of emotional honesty, how to create a safe space for self-expression, and ways to rebuild the connection between your heart and mind. Whether you've spent years putting on a brave face or simply find it hard to open up, this is the time to let go of the need for perfection and embrace the fullness of who you are. After 60, life is about authenticity, and true strength lies in being real, not just with others, but with yourself. Let's talk about how to take that first step toward emotional freedom and living your truth. Number 6. Trying to keep up with trends. When we're younger, there's a strong pull to stay updated on the latest trends, whether in fashion, technology, or pop culture. But after 61, you realize that trends are just that, fleeting and often meaningless. What matters most now is finding what truly brings you joy and comfort, regardless of what's popular or fashionable. In fact, this can be one of the most liberating realizations of aging. The need to stay current fades as you embrace your own style and preferences. You realize that things like comfort, quality, and personal taste matter more than trying to follow every trend. The pressure to keep up with trends just doesn't make sense anymore, because what's truly important is what makes you feel happy and fulfilled. No. 7. The idea of time running out. As the years go by, many of us become consumed by the idea of time running out, whether it's the fear of unfulfilled dreams, the weight of missed opportunities, or the relentless ticking of the clock reminding us that life is finite. This mindset can create a sense of urgency, anxiety, and even regret as we wonder if we've done enough, if we've lived fully, or if it's too late to make a meaningful change. But here's the truth. The idea of time running out is not a death sentence for your dreams. It's a wake-up call to live with intention, clarity, and courage. In this video, we'll explore how the fear of time slipping away can actually be a powerful motivator to help you focus on what truly matters and embrace life's possibilities at any stage. Think about it. No one truly knows how much time they have left, yet the illusion of endless tomorrows can lead to procrastination and complacency. The idea of running out of time flips that script, reminding us of the preciousness of each moment. Instead of fearing it, we can use it to sharpen our focus, prioritize our passions, and eliminate the distractions and doubts that hold us back. Whether you're 20, 60, or 80, every day is a chance to realign with your values, to chase the goals that set your soul on fire, and to deepen your connections with the people who matter most. We'll dive into practical strategies for breaking free from the paralyzing fear of time running out, like shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance, setting realistic goals that inspire action, and embracing the fact that fulfillment doesn't come from racing against the clock, but from being fully present in each moment. It's never too late to start something new, to mend what's broken, or to pursue what you've always dreamed of. The idea of time running out is not a limitation. It's a reminder that every tick of the clock is an opportunity to live more intentionally. By reframing this fear as a gift, you can find the courage to act now, to say yes to life's possibilities, and to live in a way that feels meaningful, no matter how much time is left. Let's talk about how to embrace this mindset shift and make the most of the moments we have, not out of fear, but out of love for the life we're still creating. No 8. Keeping a packed schedule. In today's world, keeping a packed schedule has become almost synonymous with success. From back-to-back meetings and endless to-do lists, to squeezing in personal obligations and side projects, many of us wear busyness as a badge of honor. But while a packed schedule might make you feel productive and accomplished on the surface, it often comes at a hidden cost: burnout, stress, and the gradual erosion of your mental and emotional well-being. In this video, we'll explore the double-edged sword of a packed schedule, how it can drive both progress and overwhelm, and discuss strategies for finding balance, reclaiming your time, and focusing on what truly matters. The problem with a packed schedule isn't the volume of tasks itself, but rather how it leaves little room for flexibility, reflection, or rest. When every moment is accounted for, there's no space for the unexpected, whether that's an opportunity to connect with loved ones, a moment of creative inspiration, or simply the chance to breathe. Over time, a relentless schedule can leave you feeling like a hamster on a wheel, busy but not necessarily fulfilled. And let's face it, our worth isn't defined by how many boxes we check off each day. Life is about more than productivity. It's about finding meaning, joy, and balance in what we do. We'll delve into the reasons why so many of us overcommit our time, from the pressure to prove ourselves to the fear of saying no, and how this mindset can trap us in an endless cycle of busyness. More importantly, we'll look at practical ways to break free. This includes learning to prioritize tasks based on your values and goals, embracing the power of delegation, and recognizing that rest is not a luxury but a necessity. By intentionally creating space in your schedule, you can boost your focus, creativity, and overall happiness. A packed schedule doesn't have to be a prison. It can be a powerful tool when used wisely. The key is to ensure that what fills your time aligns with what fills your heart. Let's talk about how to redefine success, shift from busy to intentional, and create a life where your schedule serves you rather than the other way around. Because in the end, time is your most precious resource, and how you spend it is how you live your life. Let's make it count. No 9th. Worrying about what others think. How often do you catch yourself hesitating, overthinking, or holding back because you're worried about what others might think? This silent fear can be paralyzing, keeping us from speaking our truth, chasing our dreams, or living authentically. Whether it's the fear of judgment, rejection, or criticism, worrying about others' opinions can feel like an invisible cage that stops us from stepping into our full potential. But here's the truth: no matter how hard you try, you will never please everyone, and that's okay. In this video, we'll explore why we worry so much about the opinions of others, the toll it takes on our confidence and happiness, and how to break free from this mental trap. At its core, worrying about what others think often stems from a natural desire to fit in and be accepted. It's a survival instinct rooted in our biology. But in today's world, it can manifest as self-doubt, overanalyzing social interactions, or seeking external validation. The problem is, the more we focus on others' opinions, the further we stray from our own values and desires. This constant need for approval can lead to a watered-down version of ourselves, where we make choices based on others' expectations rather than our own dreams. Over time, this erodes our sense of self and leaves us feeling unfulfilled. We'll dive deep into why this fear holds so much power over us and explore actionable steps to reclaim your freedom. First, it starts with self-awareness, recognizing when and why you're placing too much weight on others' opinions. From there, it's about building self-confidence and developing a stronger connection to your inner voice. We'll discuss the power of setting boundaries, embracing imperfection, and understanding that other people's opinions often say more about them than they do about you. Imagine how freeing it would feel to live without constantly second-guessing yourself, to make decisions based on your own values, and to show up in the world as your authentic self. This doesn't mean you won't care about others, but rather that their opinions won't control you. We'll also touch on the importance of surrounding yourself with people who accept and uplift you, creating an environment where you feel safe to be yourself. Breaking free from the fear of what others think isn't easy, but it's one of the most liberating things you can do for yourself. Life is too short to be lived on someone else's terms. Let's explore how to quiet the noise of judgment, strengthen your sense of self-worth, and step boldly into the life you were meant to live, because the only opinion that truly matters is your own. And there you have it, 9 things that simply don't make sense after 61. Life has a way of giving us wisdom and perspective, and with age comes the realization that many of the things we once thought were important are actually just distractions. As you age, you learn to prioritize authenticity, happiness, and peace of mind. If you're approaching 61 or beyond, you've likely already experienced some of these shifts, and if you're not there yet, hopefully this video gave you some insight into the beautiful changes that come with time. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.